Alright guys, let's take a look at the command palette in this video. From the command palette, you have access to all of the functionality of VS Code, including keyboard shortcuts for the most common operations. You can execute editor commands, open files, search for symbols, all using the same interactive window. Let's take a look at some of the more important ones. To navigate to any file in your workspace, you can press Ctrl+P and then type in a full or partial name of the file you're looking for. For example, to navigate to angular.json, I can type angular and it shows a list of possible files. And from here, I can press the down arrow and navigate to that file. Now let's say I want to navigate to the test file and I don't remember the exact name, but I do remember it had the word spec in it. So I can hit Ctrl+P and type spec. And from here, I know that app.component.spec is the testing file related to app component, and I can easily navigate to that file. You don't have to search in your Explorer through a tree of folders. Just search and navigate using the command palette. Now, it's also pretty common to work with two files at a time. For example, I navigate constantly between app.component.ts and app.component.html. To switch between files, all you have to do is hit Ctrl and then hit P twice. So let me open app.component.html and then app.component.ts. Now I hit Ctrl and then hit P twice and let go of the keys. And you can see that it switches to the previous file, which is app.component.html. Ctrl P and P again switches back. So this is really useful when you have to toggle between two files. Ctrl P and then P again. The next one, although not part of the command palette, is useful for file navigation. The combination is Ctrl+Shift+Tab. Now this will cycle you through the last set of files opened. Keep hitting Tab and let go of the keys if you want to navigate to that particular file. Ctrl, Shift, and then Tab. The next thing possible is navigating to a symbol within a file. Let's say we have a file with a few hundred lines of code, and I want to find a specific method in that file. We can do that by starting the keyword with an @ symbol. Let's say we need to find a method called enroll in the current file. For that, hit Ctrl P and then type the @ symbol. Right away, it gives you a list of symbols. You can quite easily identify the method you're looking for and then press enter. The cursor is placed at that method. You can see that the cursor blinking at the beginning of enroll method. You can also notice that as I go through the symbols, it is also highlighted in the background. So right now, the entire enrollment service class is highlighted. Now just the URL portion, now the constructor, now enroll method. You can see the highlight on the method. And then if I move to error handler, the highlight moves to error handler method. And that is pretty useful as well. Now you might have a file that contains around 50 or more methods. In that scenario, after the @ symbol, just start typing your keyword and the list is narrowed down. For example, let's assume that I have no clue where the enroll method is. I hit Ctrl P, @ symbol, and then enroll, and you can see that the list is narrowed down. Now I can easily select that particular method. Navigating by symbol is much more efficient than doing a find on the keyword and going through all the occurrences in that particular file. The keyboard shortcut, by the way, is Ctrl Shift O. So remember, @ symbol to go to a symbol in the current file. Now you can improve on this by appending a colon to the @ symbol. And what that does is group the symbols by category. So if you hit Ctrl plus P and then add symbol followed by colon, you can see that it groups the symbols by methods, properties, classes, variables, and so on. A lot of the times you might have variable names same as the property names. So this grouping can really help you out. Add sign followed by a colon in the command palette. On similar lines, we have hash or the pound sign. The pound sign lets you go directly to a symbol in the workspace and not just the current file. So if you want to navigate to a symbol in a different file, you can go with the pound sign. For example, I know that I have a method named validate topic in my project. So I can type pound sign and then validate topic, and it gives me all the symbols in the workspace for that keyword. When I select the validate topic method, you can see that we are navigated to the file and the cursor is placed right at the beginning of the validate topic method. The keyboard shortcut, by the way, is Ctrl T. So hash or the pound sign followed by keyword to navigate to a symbol in your workspace. Now we also have go to definition, which is quite common. For example, I can place my cursor on the enroll method and then hit the F12 key, and it takes me to the definition of that particular method. Again, this is something you're going to do often when you pick up on an existing project and try to understand the logic. So F12, go to definition. We can also go to a specific line by making use of colon in the command palette. So Ctrl P and then colon, and you can see VS Code even tells you the range you can enter. Type a line number between 1 and 24 to navigate to. Type 10 and then press enter, and the cursor is placed at line 10. Now this is something I don't use much. You can always navigate to error lines by directly clicking on the error, and I also use the bookmarks extension to jump between lines. Nevertheless, it's always good to know how to jump to a specific line in a given file. By the way, the keyboard shortcut is Ctrl G. Now, what else is possible with the command palette? That's easy to find out. Hit Ctrl P and then hit the question mark key. We get a list of possible options. We already had a look at the first two, navigating to files and navigating to symbols in the workspace. The next important item in the list is this inverted caret or greater than sign, if you want to call it that. This will bring you directly to the editor commands along with the shortcuts if present. This is like the central part of the command palette from where you can perform hundreds of tasks. If I just scroll through the list, you can see that we have the debugger, developer commands, we also have emmet, extensions, files, git, and so on. For example, I can type task and then select run task, and you can see that it gives me a list of the scripts present in my package.json file. Or maybe I want to take a look at the different themes. Ctrl P, the inverted caret, and then type theme and select color theme. Now we have the list and we can easily pick one. I'm going to stick to the default one for now because that is what I like. There are just so many commands when it comes to the command palette, and I advise you to spend some time on this and learn what is really useful for your project. Alright, so that is about the command palette and navigation in Visual Studio Code. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.